What's good, YouTube? It's your boy, Blue Blood Sports TV, back at y'all with another one. So, we have some breaking news. As retired, legendary, iconic Hall of Fame superstar boxer turned promoter and founder of Mayweather Promotions, that being the man known as Money, Floyd Mayweather Jr., has made a massive offer to UFC iconic superstar, future Hall of Famer, and former rival in Conor McGregor. Floyd Mayweather, he retired 50-0, obviously. Floyd Mayweather, his last official boxing match, he beat Conor McGregor. He stopped Conor McGregor. With that said, that was Conor McGregor's first fight. Floyd Mayweather, he made a whopping $200 million for that fight with Conor McGregor. Conor McGregor, he made a massive career improvement, making $100 million in the fight with Floyd Mayweather. Okay, this fight took place 5 years ago already. Okay, it was 2017. And, it was the biggest fight, the second biggest fight in the history of the sport of boxing, only behind Floyd Mayweather and legendary 8-division world champion, iconic Filipino superstar boxer, Manny Pac-Man Pacquiao. So with that said, Floyd Mayweather, he has made an offer to Conor McGregor for a rematch in the fall, and the offer is $157.9 million made to Conor McGregor. The only demand that Conor McGregor had, according to reports, is that they wanted to be a 10-round fight, not 12 rounds, obviously, because Conor McGregor is in a complete different discipline, and 12 rounds is just way too long for Conor McGregor. So they want to shorten it up as much as possible. He's used to fighting 4 to 5 rounds. Now the rounds are long in the UFC, so he's used to fighting but short spurts, okay? And in the format in the UFC, he gets to wrestle, he gets to get a break. He's a striker in the UFC, that's what he's known for, but nonetheless, he's outmatched when he's in the sport of boxing, okay? That's Floyd Mayweather's wheelhouse for sure. He's a master in the boxing ring, okay? And so it's being reported that Floyd Mayweather is standing to make $250+ million, with Conor McGregor earning $157.9 million. That's massive. Okay, Conor McGregor in the UFC doesn't make that amount of money. Okay, nowhere near. So this last fight, that was August of 2017. It was a TKO victory for Floyd Mayweather. It's Conor McGregor's first fight in the sport of boxing, and it didn't work out too well for Conor McGregor. Okay, and now he's being offered a rematch, and they want Floyd Mayweather's record to be on the line. Okay, obviously they want to put a blemish on his resume. They don't want this to be an exhibition format, so they want this to be an official boxing match, and they want it to be a 10-round fight. So they're still working out the details, but $157 million. Now we know UFC president Dana White, he is not open to this. He don't want it to happen. Okay, Dana White, he already came out and he stated that Conor McGregor, his next fight is going to have to be in the UFC. Okay, they own the rights to him. The format in the UFC is completely different than the format in the sport of boxing, where you do have promoters, managers, and networks in which own the rights for certain fighters. But in the UFC, there's one sole ruler, and that's Dana White. And he stated that Conor McGregor, he's gonna have to fight in the UFC in his next fight. What's ironic here is that since the loss to Floyd Mayweather back in 2017, Conor McGregor is 1-4 in his fights in the UFC. So many people feel like Conor McGregor has now gotten comfortable. How the late, great, legendary, iconic Hall of Fame superstar, marvelous Marvin Hagler used to say, it's very, very difficult to get up out of them silk sheets and run at 3, 4, 5 o'clock in the morning. It's very, very difficult to do that when you already accomplished so much and you have so many, material things such as mansions, cars, money, kids, things of that nature. So it's very difficult to, proceed and get up and, make the sacrifice. And many people feel like that's the problem when it comes to Conor McGregor in the UFC, is that he's already gotten a taste of that massive amount of boxing money. And now Conor McGregor, he don't really care and not, really focus and settled in on the sport and hungry as he once was. He's now, focused on, things outside the sport of boxing. He has his own whiskey, he has his own brand that's grown, so there's a lot that goes with, Conor McGregor. It's not, building up his brand anymore. The hunger is not there, is what many people feel like when you're dealing with Conor McGregor in the UFC. Like I said, he's 1-4 since his fight with Floyd Mayweather. That's not a good number, okay? And it looks like they're looking to relive the entire situation, back in 2017, see if they could break the records. Now, I personally don't think that they'll break the records. I don't think it'll come close. I think that, they caught lightning in a bottle. I feel like, the fans have already seen it. The jig is up. They're not going to buy into it. Fans are not going to buy into it. Now, people are supported because you still have the, hardcore boxing fans, hardcore UFC fans that feel like, Conor McGregor should still put a blemish on Floyd Mayweather's record. There's fight fans that just want to see Floyd Mayweather in the ring, in a serious fight. So this is definitely going to get support, but I don't believe it's going to come with nowhere near close to doing the actual numbers that it did the first go round. Okay. I just think that, there was a one-off. You know what I mean? Especially with the same fighter. Now, if you had, a different fighter, a different face in there with Floyd Mayweather, then it may, the build up, and it may live up to it. But as far as, the same fight, the same fighter, we already saw what Conor McGregor can and can't do, in the boxing ring. He hasn't improved. He's actually suffered a major injury in the UFC, which saw him in his last, I believe that was his last fight. So with that said, I think that, they caught lightning in a bottle and they trying to relive it. I don't think that's going to happen. Now, I do believe if Floyd Mayweather was to fight Manny Pacquiao in a rematch, that the numbers would be enormous because, there's still fans that believe that Manny Pacquiao is the man to put the blemish on Floyd Mayweather's record, right? There's still fans that believe that Manny Pacquiao suffered an injury, thus the reason why he couldn't live up to the billing. So there's still many people that would, buy into the Manny Pacquiao, who's an official boxer, a real boxer, being able to compete and possibly defeat, Floyd Mayweather. So fans will buy into that. Now, again, like I said, fans are going to buy into this Conor McGregor fight for sure, but is it going to be able to come close to the numbers it did and breaking records and things of that nature? No, I don't see that happening. I think that, it's just simply, a situation where, fans are going to be interested because you have a crossover sport situation where you have the UFC combined with the boxing. And, it's just exciting for the fans. It's interesting. It's intriguing. But at the end of the day, it's not going to come close. So these are huge numbers that they're being offered, $157.9 million. That's enormous, especially for Conor McGregor, who in the UFC, they just don't get paid that much. It's just, they don't get paid nowhere near close to what boxers get, not even close. I actually saw a card, where the heavyweight champion in the UFC was on, and the total combined purse for the entire card was like $7 million. And it was like 6-7 fights on the card. That's a travesty. There's no way it should be $7 million in total for an entire card with about 6-7 fights or more on the card. That just should not happen. But nonetheless, it did happen. And that's the way the format is with the UFC. It's just not, they just don't pay out. They don't get paid. But the sport of boxing, they get paid heavy, And so because of that, I'm sure you have all types of Francis Ngannou, who I'm talking about, the UFC heavyweight. all these UFC fighters, they want to transition into the sport of boxing because the difference in the numbers, not just so much of the competition, but the exposure they'll get for doing so and the amount of money they're going to get for doing so. So Floyd Mayweather is a genius when it comes to marketing. He's a genius when it comes to making money. Floyd Mayweather knows exactly how to, make big lump sums of money. Okay. And this is another one. He always says he's going to take over the bank without a mask. You know what I mean? So this is another one of those situations where they're just, I believe they're just personally going to the well one too many times with the same game plan. And I think that that's going to be a difficult sell. But there is talks that Gervonta Tank Davis, undefeated 3-division world champion, could possibly be on the undercard. Floyd Mayweather called it a passing of the torch situation. So maybe Tank Davis is on there. That's all I got for y'all. Make sure you hit the like button. It's your boy Blue. Peace.
Oh, it is your boy Jada Kiss. Make sure you check out Blue Blood Sports TV. It's going down.